Welcome to the number one friendship podcast in the country. I'm Matt Ritter.
I'm Aaron Cairo.
Guys, go to audible.com/the buddy system. Get our best-selling friendship how-to. Everything you ever needed to know or wanted to know about making and maintaining friends. Kira, I wanted to dive into a topic today. Just dive right in to one that we've gotten a lot, kind of I don't know, maybe like not like a criticism of us, but I feel like every now and then we get the, oh, this isn't for me. This advice isn't for me. People who try to exclude themselves from this advice because they say, oh, it doesn't apply to me. And that group is introverts. I don't know if you've
So you,
noticed that.
st- yeah. Well, you said, a criticism. I don't listen to the criticism or take it in any way. So I wouldn't know about it. Uh, but yes, we are two extroverts, and we do sometimes get comments from
Comment.
introverts that the buddy system doesn't work for them.
Right. And it's not even that they've read the audio or listened to it. It's that they feel there is nothing that they can do because of the fact that they're introverts. So I thought you and I could go and put our introvert lens on.
Guys, make sure to check out our YouTube where you can see Matt. I don't even know how to describe what he's doing. He's kind of doing the Batman thing you
Yeah.
did when you were a little kid,
Yeah.
where you put your fingers. You
I was
put
going
your.
to do a soundtrack.
So I think that we should, we in the audio and in the podcast, we talk about the 4 levels of friend making, which are existing friends, friends of friends, fringe friends, and total fucking strangers. I thought maybe we should put our introvert hat on and discuss how you can make friends as an introvert in each of these scenarios.
Well, that's great, but let's back up because I do
Okay.
want to.
Okay. Good.
I want to
Yeah.
honor what you're saying,
Okay.
but I
Yes.
want
Yes.
to. I want to
I'm here.
reframe
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So introversion, being an introvert doesn't make friendship harder. Extroverts are not better at friendship than introverts. I want to say that again. Extroverts are not better at friendship than introverts.
Well,
They
they're a little
are
better.
they are maybe better at the initiating, at the what you're talking about, the total effing strangers. They are louder and maybe they have an ease in entering a room full of strangers. However, introverts are great at listening, remembering details, getting deep, being emotionally available, being comfortable with silence. A lot of elite friendship skills. So the problem isn't the introversion. It's just that introverts are not thinking about the ways that are the best for them to connect necessarily.
Yeah, but it's not just like literally speaking to somebody at a bar. Introverts might not reach out and make plans. They
Yes.
may not be as comfortable in a big group setting.
Yes. So actually, what we're saying again is the same thing: is that you're not bad at making friends or having friendships. You're just the ways, the stereotypical ways of friendship making and plan making maybe need to be reframed or tweaked for you. That's really all it is.
Okay, I have a pitch for you, Matt.
Okay.
In a bar, there should be an introvert section.
Mm,
It's got, instead of the person in a handicap, like in a wheelchair, it's someone
yeah.
holding a drink, like, or they're doing this thing, like the
Mm.
the uh the shy hand motion that the Gen Z does, and then those people can circulate.
Should it be like a quiet room, like a quiet car on a train?
Yeah, like I don't know if you've seen, I don't know if I've been to like a festival with you lately, but they have God, what's it called when there's a lot of like stuff happening? You can go into like a trailer and it removes what's the word? What's the stuff, like certain people can't have stimuli, like if you get
Oh,
overstimulated,
ah.
they have like a little rubber room for you to run and
Listen,
get into.
well, listen, introverts don't like loud bars. They don't like the forced small. So they don't like the group dynamics. They don't like the performative socializing, right? So yeah, maybe, but also maybe they shouldn't be at bars. Like, maybe
Well,
it's
no, I
just not.
mean we like introverts at bars.
No, I'm just saying if you're trying to make a friend, like
Oh,
again,
I
like
see. I see.
it's they need to be in their element, right? And introverts there's plenty of elements, right? Going with one person somewhere, right? Maybe one-on-ones are better, or routine-based relationships are better. Things that are, just easier for them to not have friction, right? Really, what we try to do is try to design. The buddy system was about designing your life for friendship, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think that, listen, a lot of friendship is, or making new friends, I should say, is talking to strangers,
Mm-hmm.
making, you said performative small talk. We've discussed
Yeah.
small talk. We have an episode of small talk, but like, you can't get to big talk until you start the small talk,
Uh-huh.
right? I mean, like, so that is a skill that is necessary.
Yeah.
Um, you know, I think, I guess I just want to disabuse people of the notion that like like we just roll up to people at bars and be like,
That,
hey,
that's
you know?
right. That's right. It's hard for anybody. It's awkward for everybody. Introverts need to know that we're all faking it, right? On some level when we do that.
Now, do we care that we once had that conversation about the true definition of introvert and extrovert is not exactly what we say it is?
Yeah, I think it's whatever everybody thinks it is based on what we're
Okay.
saying now.
Okay.
But again, I think it's, trying to meet new people is hard for everybody. Trying to make a new friend is hard. That's not really the goal. We talk about that all the time. We just want to give you low pressure on ramps, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that's like low pressure on ramps, low pressure, better structure. Let's remove the friction. And there's a million ways to do that we talk about, right?
Okay. So let's talk about some advice for introverts. So first of all, I would say, and we're talking about making new friends.
Sure. Let's start there.
Yeah. So I would say that our first tip from the buddy system actually is even more important now, which is existing friends.
Mm-hmm.
We have a lot of men who say they don't have friends, but then
Yeah.
we're like, oh, but you just haven't spoken to your friends.
Yeah.
Everyone has had friends at some point in their life.
It's a great one, Karo, because as we get older in our 40s, 50s, 60s, whatever, especially if you're an introvert, the last thing you want to do is make a new friend from scratch at all. And you don't have to, right? Like a lot of these people that we're talking to don't have to. It's so much easier, especially if you're an introvert, to just connect with somebody you already are friends with. And you just
Right.
need to light the fuse again, or, turn the light back on and let them know that, we're open for business.
Right. So we would say to our introverts out there, just take a minute and a quick gut check. Are you sure that you don't have existing friends that you just haven't interacted with in a while? That could be months. I mean, it could be years.
Right. Right.
It's
Right.
very common for men to let their friendships lie fallow. Oh, I haven't talked to
Yeah.
Jim in 6 months. Well, that's done. No,
Right.
it's much easier to text Jim than it is some new person you're going to
Right.
meet.
Exactly. Especially if like you're a wife sitting at home thinking about that too. Like, and you have an introverted husband, it's going to be much easier to get him back in touch with one of his actual friends that never had a falling out. They just had
Right.
some sort of falling off versus going, hey, Jim, I'm going to bring you to this social mixer at the school and you're going to go talk to the dads and become friends with them. That's very intimidating for an introvert.
And as we've said many times, just a couple tips for re-engaging with your friends. Send them a text thinking about you. Send them an old photo. Remember this. Maybe if you have a group chat, if it's too awkward to text just one person, just text the group chat and then maybe one or two people respond. And also remember our advice that men actually like receiving texts from their buddies. So don't think if you
Right.
send a text, they're not going to like it.
Right.
So that's, sorry. Yeah.
No, go ahead.
So that's level one of our introvert guide. Start with your existing friends if you need to go dig them up somewhere. The second one is friends of friends. Now, this is generally what we talk about if you've moved to a new city. You move from Chicago to Dallas. You ask your friends in Chicago, do you have any friends in Dallas? That way you get warm leads on making new friends.
I like
But
warm leads. You know, I think warm leads is good because I think that's really an introvert fear, the coldness of it.
right.
You know,
So this,
the temperature of that early stage is important for introverts. I think
and
the
so this is
warmer that lead, the warmer the just they feel about their ability to pull it off, right?
well,
It's a confidence hack. Friends of Friends is a confidence hack. It's a complete and total confidence hack to have one of your friends say good things about you and say good things about this other person and put you guys together on a text and you say, I think you guys are going to get along. You live in the same city. It's to me, that's like, oh man, this is not daunting now.
yeah, just exactly what you said. Like, I think introverts have take longer to warm up. So this is just being delivered piping hot to you already.
Yeah.
Um, again, we're this is not you talking to a complete stranger. This is someone that your friend is already friends with. The stakes are a lot lower. The small talk can be a lot lower. You could talk about your mutual friend. Um, also, just to disabuse another limiting belief, you may be thinking, well, I did move to a new city, but no one from my old city knows anybody in this new city. You don't
Mm-hmm.
know that. I guarantee you, you don't know all of your cousins, fraternity
Mm-hmm.
brothers, or all your coworkers, friends from high school. Like if you BCC 10 people and say, hey, I just moved to X place. Do you know anyone? You'll get one response. You never know until you try. No harm, no foul.
Totally agree.
So then the next level as we start getting trickier is fringe friends,
Yeah.
right? So this is the second from the most difficult, and this is acquaintances that you have. We just did an episode called Finding Fringe Friends, which is people you know, a neighbor, a coworker, somebody at the gym who you know their name, they know your name. You're not buddies, but they're not strangers.
And I find for these people, again, maybe they're not as warm as the friends of friends, but you get to dictate how you want to establish that interaction with those people, really, too, if you want to try and have a real friendship with them. And so I think part of that for you, the win is in suggesting a venue or an outcome where, again, you don't show up feeling like, oh, this is going to drain me, right? Maybe it's like, hey, do you like walks? Why don't you go for a
Mm-hmm.
walk?
And you're also, again, you're talking to somebody you already know.
Right.
So like the you're just kind of trying to develop that friendship a little bit more. Um, you also get to choose who you're like, if you think about your fringe friends, you're make a list right now of people in your head, you're going to choose the one you like the best. Choose the one that
Yes.
you think is the closest to becoming a real friend. Not all fringe friends will get leveled up, but like it's another warm lead where you don't have to like, again, be randomly talking to somebody, like blow out your social battery. You already chat with them at work. You already chat with them, when you're taking out the garbage. Just like take the one extra step of asking them what they're doing that night or next
Yeah.
week or any recommendations for a restaurant.
Yeah. Yeah. And on that note, right? So this is where we get into the, we call leveling up friendships. And I feel this is where introverts are scared and have this not irrational, but misdiagnosed idea that because they hate small talk and that's level one of this thing, how could they ever get to level 5 or level 7? So how do they get deeper, right? And so part of that is you do have to accept that, on some level, you need to do things that everybody does, right? You need to, people call it small talk, whatever. If you're with a fringe friend from work, you're going to probably start with talking about work.
That's what's
You know,
good about it.
right. It is small talk, but it's connective tissue to get you. Instead of thinking about it as small talk, it's like you have to complete level 1 of this game.
I encourage our listeners to go to our small talk episode, which is episode 84. I just looked it up, which is where Matt did not know the definition of small talk. He kept saying, yeah,
No,
I just said, yeah.
I
What's the
just
most
said I
exciting
like
thing you got
medium.
planned for the
I like
calendar?
I like to skip to medium talk is how I frame it.
All right, Matt. Here, I'll let you choose our adventure. Do you want to go to total fucking strangers, or do you want to take a question first?
Let's just go to total effing strangers.
Oh, okay. We're not cursing anymore, right? Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. So the hardest level of friend making is total effing strangers, which is when you're literally going to meet a new person, and you're going to turn them into a friend. And this is difficult for extroverts and introverts alike. If you read the buddy system, our general advice is to find your third place. First place is home, second place is work, third place is anywhere between besides home and work where people gather and socialize.
Mhm.
You want to find your golf being your passion. So if you love chess, you're going to join a chess club. If you work out a lot, you're going to go to the gym. If you're a coffee guy like Matt, you're going to hit the coffee shop. The key is to go regularly and consistently. You're going to go to the same place at the same time every week or every day. You're not going to go to a random class at the gym. You're going to go to the Tuesday at 8 a.m. every single week or every single day if it's a coffee shop. And they're going to start seeing familiar faces.
Right.
So, yeah.
So I was going to say some of the issues with that, right? It's scary because you have to be the one to reach out on those places, right? Like total effing stranger. Somebody we say be the friend. I think that one's really hard for them.
Well, let's also just talk about process versus outcome. When you're going to your third place, you're not trying to make a new friend. You're trying to enjoy your passion, your coffee, your surf club, your chess, your run club. And maybe you have a fun conversation. Maybe you say hello to two people. If you go out and say, my goal is to make a new friend tonight, you're going to fail every time because you can't control that.
Right. But I think another thing introverts do is that internal narrative, the limiting beliefs. What if I'm interrupting somebody? What if I'm annoying? What if I don't respond? And that's something all of us feel again. So I know that fear of initiation is scary for introverts. So maybe reframe that as, what's worse? Having that one, hey, how you doing? Whatever, any good restaurants around here, or not having any friends, like again, like the harm is very low for just doing it, right? Again, we talk about like the thing about failing or whatever, like if somebody doesn't want to talk to you, that's not somebody you wanted to be friends with anyway. It's no big deal. So reframing it as like, it's not a rejection to not have it, become a friend anytime you say hi to somebody at a coffee shop. It's just the reps of putting yourself out there and maybe in some way just overcoming the fear that it's that big of a deal.
Couple hacks for our introverts.
Yeah.
When you're in your third place, one is wear a statement tee or a statement hat. So you're wearing a hat with an obscure band or your college or something that gets people to come and make a comment about it. So people come up and talk to you. Number two, you just want to have an OTF stance, an open to friendship stance, where your body language is open, you're smiling, pleases and thank yous. Compliments.
Right.
Are always great. Love your hat. Love the how's the questions. How the hot wings? What are the Dodgers doing? Like this isn't, and if they just give you a one-word answer, great.
Yeah. Can I ask if you think that part of this issue is that, when you identify as an introvert, it becomes part of your identity, and it's almost like you feel like you're not being true to yourself by doing some of this stuff. I wonder if that's a bit of a fear here.
Not being true to yourself by asking, like, by talking to people.
Yeah, by going out and doing this, trying this stuff.
I mean, listen, I also think this introversion extroversion is a spectrum.
Yeah.
Like, you and I have been, I was at an event the other night and there were a couple people and I was like, should I talk to them? And I just ended up not.
Right. And but again, I want to go back to the bigger picture. So our goal, is for you to look at friendship holistically from a much bigger perspective, social connection from bigger perspective. So this idea that like, I take long to warm up, or, I don't feel comfortable with small talk because I'm an introvert, or, I only really want deep friendships. I don't want any of this casual stuff. That's not me. That's life. That's human connection. That's existing in the world. Your social health involves multiple tiers. To be fully socially healthy, It involves having casual people that you nod to at coffee shops. It involves having small. I truly believe that people that are socially healthy, it's great to have deep friends, but you also need some shallow connections too. It's hard to get through the day to day without both.
Yeah, but I mean, by telling introverts just get over it, I don't know if that's that helpful.
I'm not saying get over it. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying maybe a little reframe. It's not get over it. It's that you're creating a limiting belief with this identity structure that says look, I think it's important to keep the part that's real, that is important, which is that, hey, you have a certain energy and a battery and a social battery. And like, if it's low, you need to, or you don't, big groups overwhelm you. Those things are all real. I don't think it's real to say, oh, small talk, I can't do that. Everybody has an issue with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Small talk. Listen, small talk is a tough one. I think we
Yeah.
also have talked about third place, but also third thing, where if you're in a venue or and you're talking to a new person, talk about something that's happening in the venue. Whether it's, well, I don't want to say the weather, but it's like someone else who just walked in, or have they been there before, or what do you recommend? Questions are always good.
Should we get to our listener question?
We'll be right back with a listener question. Okay, guys, this is asking for a friend. If you have a friendship question or ethical dilemma, send it to us on Instagram on at Man of the Year Podcast on Instagram. We'll answer it on the show. Matt, take it away.
Okay. I've always identified as an introvert, and I've built my whole life around protecting my energy. Alone time, quiet nights, few social commitments. But now in my 30s, and I feel lonelier than I ever have, even though I'm doing everything right for an introvert. How do you know when self care is actually just isolation? So, this is what I was trying to get to. I wanted to get to this question because that question kind of hit me as like, we live in this era of self care. There was a recent, I think it was a New York Times article. I want to find it and send it to you later. But it was this idea of like, is self care making us lonely by quote unquote protecting our energy all the time to the detriment of friendship, right? There's been a lot of talk in the friend sphere lately about how, yeah, friendship can be a burden. That's part of it. Like, part of it is that it's like a selfless act to be a friend. Like, you're taking on other people's stuff.
Did you just say friendosphere?
Maybe. I think I said friend here. I don't know.
No,
I don't
I'm
know
just
what I
saying.
just
Is that a
yeah.
new term?
Friendos. I don't know what I just said.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, I think the study of friendship, which is friendology, which were basically the
Yeah.
founders. Um,
Friendologist.
Friendologist. Yeah. I mean, of course, what jumped out at me at that listener question, probably thank you for the question, is I did everything right for an introvert. I'm like,
Yeah.
what does that mean? You know, there's of course you'll never be in an uncomfortable situation if you never go out, right? You'll never drain your social battery if you never use it. Of course you're very lonely because you've been staying home all the time. So
Right.
I think what you're describing, Matt, is like you can sounds like a little bit of
Overcorrect. Overcorrect.
overcorrection. Overcorrection.
Right. I think that's it. And I think that's what some of these articles I read recently really hit me with, like, oh yeah, you can really overcorrect yourself into loneliness with this, like, oh, I have to protect my energy, self-care, this and that. Because the question shouldn't be, oh, am I an introvert or an extrovert? And this is how introverts live. It's like, does this alone time make you feel good?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, because if it were healthy, right, you'd be calm, you'd be clear, you'd be open, but you wouldn't be super sad and lonely, right? I mean, unhealthy solitude is what that sounds like to me.
You know what a great form of self-care is, Matt? Hanging out with your friends.
Yes, that is self care.
Um,
Look, I always say I always say, despite the idea that, introverts, after they socialize, their energy battery level is low, I don't believe that that's true in all of their hangs. I think when you have a good hang with a close friend, um, it does rejuvenate you. Maybe not in the moment. Maybe you do need to go recharge, right? I
Yeah.
will accept that, but I will also not accept that overall you have a better energy.
Let me do a Matt style reframe here. Okay. Let's say, Matt, you're on your phone all day and you're
Yeah,
on Instagram and you're making calls and you're watching funny videos. And at the end of the day, you have a low battery. Do you
right,
go, oh, what a waste. I did all this stuff on my phone. No, you did a bunch of stuff. And that's why you have a low battery.
right, right,
Congratulations.
right,
What
right.
batteries are for.
Right. Exactly. And all of us, our batteries need to be charged in different ways. Right. But I do believe, like you said, like I think, if you go to a loud bar and that drains you, fine. You're an introvert. If you sit with your best friend who actually sees you and knows you and gets you, that's self-care, that's health, that's, the good stuff, the good medicine. So I think
That
it's a
drains
little bit
you.
about figuring out who refills you and how they refill you.
Sorry, Matt. Yeah, and if you're hanging out with your best friend and that drains you, I think you have anemia. I mean, you have to go to the
Yeah,
hospital.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, 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 yeah.
so I think it is. Well, first of all, I think it's good to know thyself. So the question
Yeah.
asker, like, okay, I need to take care of myself certain ways. Okay, let's experiment. Let's do some A/B testing. What if I decrease my isolation 10% and increase my, going out a little bit? Do I feel full? Do I feel different?
Right. And I wasn't trying to be dismissive of introverts. I think I was trying to be what I always am, is telling people you're allowed to evolve beyond identities that you've claimed for yourself.
Also, people can be both. People can be bifrexual.
Yeah. Right, right. This right, this notion that we have a hard and fast line on things. I am X, you are Y, therefore I subscribe to these philosophies. We love doing this binary in the world in a lot of ways.
Yeah. Um, so I think that, yeah, it's also like you, I mean, what do you expect is going to happen if you're isolating yourself like that? So I think it's just referring back to the previous in our episode of some of the tips and hacks you can employ to make some friends in an introvert friendly way. By the way, Matt, sorry, this is a side note. Tell me if you want to run with it. You think introverts can only be friends with other introverts? Like, should they be seeking out fellow intros?
I don't know the answer to that. I because I don't think it's just I only hang out with people who also, you know, have the same sort of battery, social battery. I don't think that's right.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I mean, I think extroverts could use some introverts around to absorb their body blows,
Yeah.
and introverts need extroverts to like make the party fun.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we need a diversity of a range of friends on that spectrum. I
Yeah.
think introverts need people to understand that they're introverts.
Okay. Interesting. But okay, what tip do you have for an extrovert when they find out someone's an introvert?
um, don't pressure them into showing up for things that they've kind of. Sometimes they express it in subtler ways, right? Sometimes they're
Mhm.
not able to, um, respond in the same ways that you're used to. Maybe they're not rapid fire texting back. Communicate, you know, and I think it's good to communicate with your friends. If you're an extrovert or you're introvert, maybe it's worth having that convo with a new friend about how you communicate and in what ways that affects you, if it does. It's like, hey, I just so I'm pretty introverted. I'm not like somebody who's going to be serially calling you or texting you. So, but would love to do X, Y, Z.
I don't know. That feels a little bit like, I don't know. That feels a little much to me.
Yeah. Maybe you don't have to say it that way.
Yeah.
I'm an introvert, so I do X, but like, hey, I'm not a great tech. It's okay to say I'm not a great texter, or it's okay to
Mm,
say I'm not a big bar guy. There's a lot
well,
of
that
things you can
that latter one is different. Not a good texter. We've talked about this.
No,
That's
but you
not
could.
a thing.
No, you can be. You can be. You can be somebody who's it finds it exhausting to text all day with people.
I was actually more saying when you're out with someone who's an introvert, a couple things you could do as an extrovert. Make sure they're introduced, be an over introducer, make sure
Yeah.
they know everybody who's there. Be a
Yeah.
good middler from Curb Your Enthusiasm. Make sure people are included in the conversation. Stuff like
Also,
that.
be comfortable with them being an introvert. Don't try to fix them.
Yeah. That's what I always say to you. Just don't try to fix me. Couldn't be done.
That's something
Couldn't
I
be done.
gave up on in the aughts.
All right. Do we answer this question?
I think so. I think so. I hope so.
All right, guys. This was asking for a friend. Let us know if you have a listener question. Send it to us on Instagram. Matt, any final thoughts before we sign off here?
Yeah. Introverts, if you're listening, what did we get wrong? We're just two extroverts trying to see if we hacked it.
Ooh, are we? Is it like cultural appropriation? What we just did?
Maybe. We'll see. It was a thorny one, but we keep getting comments about it, so we wanted to address it. We're doing our best. It's always an evolution. We're always learning.
Matt, I don't know if these introverts are going to be able to send us a message. It might be too much for them.
Oh, he's coming in hot. It's coming out hot.
Matt,
we're leaving. We're leaving this.
I know. Whenever we finish an episode, Matt's like, stop alienating our audience.
Right at the very end. You like to do it right at the end to see if they're still listening.
Yeah, it's exactly right. That's exactly right. No, but introverts, we do want to hear from you. We love you. Thank you so much for listening. Always remember, be good to yourself, be good to your friends. Love you, buddy.
Love you, buddy.